Join us on Talk Time for great conversations on Africa's political and socio-economic struggle and how this positively impacts its people. The show brings out the different dimensions of local and international issues. Talk Time with Kwesi Pratt Jr. airs on Saturdays at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Sundays at 8 p.m. only on Pan-African Television. Pan-African Television, truly African.
Dr. Bawiabere, Obeba, Ebisi wa NPP Buddha. Ghana, Yachichi, Ghana, Bakosama. President Kufuor to call retirement. But to be Mr. Kesi, who said, a free side Yachichi Ghana from 1957. Ebekane, Yenya President Bia Wabua Ghana Chen and Ado Dr. Kufuor. Messi, a free 1957. Bekane, Mufamo Kwame Krubano, Mufamo. Obia do have the Mampania, what Bogana who buy, and the Ghana Colonim, China Nadu Dankwa, Akufuado. Make a say, you're the Jawa, near the Swam, you're the Jano, of us why ye mania kono, it's in Nigeria, Yamba de see 2008 in the BCBO. Chama would be kind of make us so. The Abaya fair, the Abaya Nimonyam. Sana na dubako adako fufuwa na ubakwa na 7 January waso onwa di nyoketo ba obi ansa nene de ne yeba ana mande ajiche obi a ebuza adwuma awa ko ba ye no Dr. Obi ababa nhebuma na Ghana ya den akodanim me so ye babunu ye abrante na wo ha oda chinti tuma Dr. Baomia. Dr. Bawiabere, Obeba, Ebisi wa NPP Buddha. Ghana, Yachichi, Ghana, Bakosama. President Kufuor to call retirement. But to be Mr. Kesi, who said, a free side Yachichi Ghana from 1957. Ebekane, Yenya President Bia Wabua Ghana Chen and Ado Dr. Kufuor. Messi, a free 1957. Bekane, Mufamo Kwame Krubano, Mufamo. Obia do have the Mampania, what Bogana who buy, and the Ghana Colonim, China Nadu Dankwa, Akufuado. Make a say, you're the Jawa, near the Swam, you're the Jano, of us why ye mania kono, it's in Nigeria, Yamba de see 2008 in the BCBO. Chama would be kind of make us so. The Abaya fair, the Abaya Nimonyam. Sana na dubako adako fufuwa na ubakwa na 7 January waso onwa di nyoketo ba obi ansa nene de ne yeba ana mande ajiche obi a ebuza adwuma awa ko ba ye no Dr. Obi ababa nhebuma na Ghana ya den akodanim me so ye babunu ye abrante na wo ha oda chinti tuma Dr. Baomia kwa Dr. Bawiabere Obeba Ebisi wa NPP Buddha. Ghana, Yachichi, Ghana, Bakosama. President Kufuor to call retirement. But to be Mr. Kesi, who said, a free side Yachichi Ghana from 1957. Ebekane, Yenya President Bia Wabua Ghana Chen and Ado Dr. Kufuor. Messi, a free 1957. Bekane, Mufamo Kwame Krubano, Mufamo. Obia do have the Mampania, what Bogana who buy, ɛde Ghana kɔ n'anim kyɛ Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Meka na meka de sɛ yɛde gyawa na yɛde ɔsoa yɛde gya no ɔfa soa yɛ ma no yɛ akɔnɔ eti na yɛgyina ha yɛmba de si 2008 na ebi si biomo chama wotumi kan na meka se so deɛ bɛyɛ fɛ deɛ bɛyɛ nimonyam sɛ Nana Addo bɛkɔ adakɔ Akufo-Addo na ɔbɛkɔ na 7 January wɔsɔ ɔno ani nua ketewa ba obi ansa mene deɛ ne yɛba ɛnɛ mɛde agyekyɛ obiara ebi sɛ adwuma a papa bɛyɛ yɛ no Dr. Obia bɛbɛ nhyɛ mu ma na Ghana yɛ dɛn akɔ n'anim mɛsɛ woyɛ babunu woyɛ aberanteɛ na wɔ ha woda akyi nti toma Dr. Bawumia kɔ a Dr. Bawumia bɛyɛ ɔbɛba ebi si wɔ NPP mu da Ghana ha yɛkyekye Ghana abakɔsɛm a President Akufo-Addo kɔ retirement a bɛtumi de bi sa kɛsiri wo sɛ efiri sɛ yɛkyekye Ghana from 1957 ɛbɛka ne yɛnya president bi a waboa Ghana kyɛ Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Mɛsi efiri 1957 bɛka ne mofa mo Kwame Nkrumah no mofa mo obiara de wa bɛdi mampanyin a wabɔ Ghana ho ban ɛde Ghana kɔ n'anim kyɛ Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Meka na meka de sɛ yɛde gyawa na yɛde ɔsoa yɛde gya no ɔfa soa yɛ ma no yɛ akɔnɔ eti na yɛgyina ha yɛmba de si 2008 na ebi si biomo chama wotumi kan na meka se so deɛ bɛyɛ fɛ deɛ bɛyɛ nimonyam sɛ Nana Addo bɛkɔ adakɔ Akufo-Addo na ɔbɛkɔ na 7 January wɔsɔ ɔno ani nua ketewa ba obi ansa mene deɛ ne yɛba ɛnɛ mɛde agyekyɛ obiara ebi sɛ adwuma a papa bɛyɛ yɛ no Dr. Obia bɛbɛ nhyɛ mu ma na Ghana yɛ dɛn akɔ n'anim mɛsɛ woyɛ babunu woyɛ aberanteɛ na wɔ ha woda akyi nti toma Dr. Bawumia kɔ a Dr. Bawumia bɛyɛ ɔbɛba ebi si wɔ NPP mu da Ghana ha yɛkyekye Ghana abakɔsɛm a President Akufo-Addo kɔ retirement a bɛtumi de bi sa kɛsiri wo sɛ efiri sɛ yɛkyekye Ghana from 1957 ɛbɛka ne yɛnya president bi a waboa Ghana kyɛ Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Mɛsi efiri 1957 bɛka ne mofa mo Kwame Nkrumah no mofa mo obiara de wa bɛdi mampanyin a wabɔ Ghana ho ban ɛde Ghana kɔ n'anim kyɛ Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Meka na meka de sɛ yɛde gyawa na yɛde ɔsoa yɛde gya no ɔfa soa yɛ ma no yɛ akɔnɔ eti na yɛgyina ha.
Right. Good morning to you. Many thanks for joining us. Welcome to the newspaper review segment of Good Morning Africa, live from our studios at number 48 Monica Street in Abelempe. We're also live in 46 other African countries via satellite in some parts of Europe and, of course, South America. On the internet, you can join us at facebook.com/Pan-African Television. We're also streaming on YouTube, so you can alternatively join us at youtube.com/Pan-African Television. As usual, I'll implore you to be a part of today's conversation. Let me know what you think about the topics that we have tabled for this morning's discussion. And so the text line has been displayed on your screen: 0559-919-802, 0559-919-802. So you can send your messages via text or WhatsApp. Please do not call the number. I can't answer your call while on the show. Let me run you through the topics we have tabled for this morning's discourse. As usual, we start our conversation with an African story, and we are going back to Kenya because we are learning this morning that there's been a concert there to pay tribute to those killed in that protest against the tax hikes. That is going to be our very first topic for conversation. Also, we shall be looking at what transpired in Menchia yesterday, the unveiling of Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh as running mate to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, going into the 2024 elections. And so that's going to be our second topic for conversation. Third one, Guta warns government against move to regulate cement prices. We've seen the soaring prices of cement, which is very pivotal in building and construction. Government has taken steps. The Ministry of Trade and Industry, they have taken steps to actually curb the soaring prices. And that is going to be a third topic for conversation. And finally, hotel share sales to improve profitability. So Snate Boss has come out to defend the sale of some of its hotels to Rock City, owned by our great minister, Mr. Brandy Champon. And in their defense, they're saying that these hotels were not improving in terms of dividends or profits, and that is the main reason or the rationale behind selling it to Rock City. So these are the topics that we have found discussion worthy this morning, and I'm happy to be in the company of the Deputy National Youth Organizer of the National Democratic Congress, Osman Ayariga. Osman, good morning.
Good morning to you.
It's been a while. I trust you're fine.
I'm doing well. I think this year is about my first or second.
Second? Or,
I think I've done a few morning shifts. Yes, but it's been good.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been on the grounds, mobilizing to capture power from this arrogant, incompetent, wicked NPP administration. So, of course, it's made it very difficult for me to make time to be here most of the mornings. But
I can actually bear eloquent testimony to the fact that you've been one of the most vibrant and very active national executive of the National Democratic Congress. In fact, I think a few days ago, my friends and I in the newsroom were having a conversation, and we spoke about the fact that you've even been more vibrant than your boss. We don't know why that is, but that is what we think. That is what we think that, and we feel that you are putting yourself in pole position to become the next youth organizer.
We are serving the youth and the party. So let's please, for now, we are serving our party.
We've had that conversation, myself, Ivan, and a few others. We see the hard work. We see the hard work, and we know for a fact. Oh no, but he's doing well.
Oh yes.
And so yes, of course. He deserves
I
all the.
commended him this morning.
Oh, okay.
We entered the studios.
I see. He's been very he's been working.
Sunyani, about 3 or 4 months. Was it about 3 or 4 months ago? And the evening I entered a pub. All around 9:30 p.m. or so. Let me go and see someone. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And I'm coming to work. I said, oh, realize. You see, when you are given position, you are supposed to work.
Yeah.
So the movement is monitoring him closely.
Yeah.
And you have a place in Alan's administration. You have an ample place in Alan's administration.
Movement for change.
Together you will win.
Stronger than Alpha.
Right, Mr. Osu has already introduced himself. Mr. Osu is no stranger to Pan-African television. He usually doesn't appear here on Wednesdays. Council appear down quite does, but Council is unavailable. But he's here to be in his stead this morning, and of course, he's always been at our beck and call. Mr. Osu, we are very grateful.
Thank you very much.
Right. Without further ado, we'll get into our first conversation. Kenya has been on the lips of everybody, every Tom, Dick, and Harry, especially on the African continent, over the past few weeks, ever since the Gen Zs, they call them, protested against those tax hikes. Of course, we know that the president, William Ruto, has rescinded that decision. It's not going to take effect anymore. He has refused to accede to the bill, and rightly so, because of the protest. But there have been casualties in that protest as well. Very, very unfortunately, there have been casualties. But a concert has been held in commemoration of those who tragically died at the hands of men in uniform who shot some of them during the protest when they marched to burn Parliament, the Parliament of Kenya. And we know for a fact that
it is one of the reasons. The deaths, perhaps, maybe one of the reasons that William Ruto decided to not assent to the bill and then make a law. So the bill has been discarded. Kenya back to normal, I should say, but the people are still calling for Ruto's head. They want him to resign. As to whether that is going to happen or not, myself, I doubt it. I doubt that Ruto will just get up and say, look, because of these protests, I'm going to resign. But of course, the concert has been held, and to remember those who died in the protest, and so that's a good thing generally. That's I would say generally it's a good thing. But what next for the Kenyan people? The president, I remember, has come out to say that, of course, since he's not assenting to the bill anymore, then it means that it will be difficult to rake in revenue. So the only resort now for Kenya is to borrow. I've heard him say that it means that we would have to borrow more to execute government projects. Should that be the case, or there are other alternatives, and then perhaps the Kenyan government is just refusing to think? Let me start the conversation with you, Mr. Owusu.
Yes, good morning to you and your to my brother Hassan and your cherished viewers. Osman. You see,
Hassan is his senior brother.
You know, in this business.
They are both campaigning to the president. Hassan also is a presidential candidate, so they meet to plan for their change.
And you also sit down and they look at me. Sometimes I remember it's Osman I'm dealing with.
But because they are brothers, so he decides to ignore.
Now each one for himself, God for him. Osman. Sorry for getting the name wrong. You see, let me greet the people of Kenya, the youth particularly, and also to associate myself with the struggle that they are going through. It is very important that the rest of Africa, particularly the Gen Z generation, learn from what is happening in Kenya, so that in an unlikely event that various governments within the sub-region misbehaves, there is a template that they can follow. Ruto has no business whatsoever continuously staying in power. He has no business. Because if you look at the whole finance bill that he took to Parliament to be passed, that is his entire strategy to managing Kenya. That without that, it will be so difficult for him to proceed. Here is a case that bill has been rescinded or withdrawn by him. And so based on what is he going to rule the country, he's not short of ideas. And so if we were in a civilized continent, a civilized country, and not the usual patapaa kind of leaders in Africa, he would have been the first person, after seeing the youth on the street, to resign. At least 39 people have so far died because of a simple demand for better conditions of living. And if you are the president that promised that you will ensure Kenyans lived a good life, and under your watch, people had to demonstrate, die for the very reason you were installed as the president, then what is your business remaining in power? See, the youth of Kenya have assured us of something during yesterday's concert. That first of all, they are commemorating the memories of those that have fallen, and that the assurance that they are giving to Ruto and his administration is that it is not going to end today nor tomorrow until Kenyans are liberated. I want to assure them that if they decide to rescind or stop what they are doing, that's the end of them. Kenyan youth watching me this morning, wherever you may find yourself, if you make the mistake of being convinced by any pastor, any imam, any chief, any politician in Kenya that go back to your homes, things will be solved. They will come and arrest you one by one, kill you one by one, deal with you one by one. Be there, be on the streets till the problems are solved. Ruto must do the honest. He must leave. But you see, it tells you how weak Ghana has been, the Ghanaian youth. Currently, the unemployment situation in Kenya is 6.6% of their population. What is the Ghana's rate of unemployment? Is it not 14.74%?
Yeah,
so between Kenya and Ghana, which of these youth must be on the street? The policy rate of the Central Bank of Kenya is 13%, and they are even planning of reducing it to 12% by end of year 2024. What is the policy rate of Ghana? 29%. So between Kenyans and Ghanaians, who must be on the street? Who must be on the street? In terms of infrastructure, Ghana comes nowhere near Kenya. Yet they are on the street. So what are we talking about? Inflation in Kenya is 6%. Inflation in Ghana is 23%. So who must be on the street? But I have understood the people of this country, the Gen Z generation, that, I mean, what is the point? It is only left with 5 months to say goodbye to this incompetent administration. That is the only reason why they are pampering nonsense in this country. And surely the good people of this country will deliver come 7 December 2024 by handing the heaviest defeat in the history of this country to the New Patriotic Party. So this morning, comrades in Kenya, I'm with you. Continue the fight. Your forebears, they fought before Kenya got its independence. You cannot be sitting around and not do anything. The 13 that went, more are being born to replace. You are not better than those that have died. Die for a good cause. It doesn't pay you to go home when you have less than 50 shillings in your pocket. You are only going to die. So it's a matter of course. Be on the street to make sure that Ruto, who is taking fat money, how is it that after, all of a sudden he has seen the need to cut down the number of advisors and removing some offices, scrapping a budget to the first and second. That position, the way it annoys me, first and second lady. My mother is there. You say you are first or second lady. What are you talking about? You see how we dissipate this country. They nearly. You remember when they were arguing whether or not to give budget to the first and second lady's office, and we had the New Patriotic Party communicators together with these leaders convincing the country that there was the need to finance the office of the first and second ladies. As if we vote, when we go and vote, we vote for them. So I'm with them. Bless, I'm with them. And they will succeed. Maybe the Arab Spring could not correct the wrongs in Africa. Kenya will succeed. And when they succeed, it will take you down. The Gen Z generation will take over and rule this African continent, and all of us will be okay. I end my submission.
Right, thank you very much. Osman.
Yes, Bless. Good morning to you and good morning to my brother once again. Every generation needs to understand their critical needs, and they need to stand forthright and fight against oppressors' rule. They need to be together, and they need to stay steadfast in whatever fight that they decide to embark on. I clearly want to use this morning to sympathize with the number of people that died through the Kenyan protest. And we all expect that when we go out to protest, we come back home safely. But when the youth and young people understand that their lives have become meaningless and it has become worthless and it is nothing to write home about and there's nothing to go home to, then they don't mind dying. And you understand what started the Arab Spring, when very well-meaning graduates felt that life has nothing to offer them, and so they just set themselves ablaze. Then you realize what happened. And I keep saying all the time that the Kenyan story is not one that is peculiar only to Kenya. In fact, their economic indicators are far, far, far better than what we are experiencing here right now as a country called Ghana under this incompetent, arrogant NPP government. However, the only luxury we have as a country is about the fact that the young people in this country, believe in the democratic exercise we are currently entertaining. The young people believe that whatever be the case, after every 4 years, we can take them out. That is why we keep sending out warnings to Madam Jane Mensah that make sure this electoral process is transparent, it's as independent, and it is clear for everyone to see, so that everyone will know that yes, I either won clearly or I lost clearly. The good people of this country can do 10 times more, especially the youth of this country, can do 10 times more than what the Kenyan youth did. But it's just because the youth of this country know that we have suffered for 7.5 years. 5 months we can endure. 5 months is enough for us to endure and take this government out. And that is why you realize that the youth of this country are currently calm. But believe you me, this is not a threat. In the coming days, if the EC or any government official exhibits any tendencies of they trying to subvert the sovereign will of the people, what happened in Kenya will just be it just be a pinch of the iceberg. So we need to be very careful as a country. And I send this warning strongly and passionately to the EC, Madam Jane, that we are currently enjoying the peace of this country because people are sure of certainty of change of power. And if people begin to believe that they're going out to vote will be subverted or will be turned around due to some Machiavellian tactics to favor a particular political party, the youth of this country will come out in their millions and in their numbers. And I keep saying it, Madam Jane Mensah, you have just about 10 military men guarding you. Imagine millions of youth coming to your house. They cannot kill everybody. They cannot protect you. The best way to protect yourself is to do what is right. As simple as that. Do what is independent and do what is expected of you. As for the suffering, we've already harbored that suffering for the past 7.5 years. We have endured it enough. And we believe that enough is enough. The Kenyan story is just one to guide the good people of this country, to guide the people in the affairs of power. Is to guide Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, guide Bawumia, and to guide their new arrogant baby Napo, and to guide Madam Jane Mensah to understand that they need to walk with caution. They need to govern with caution, and they need to do that in transparency and with integrity, and there will be peace in this country. We are not sounding any war bell, but we're just telling them that Ghana is not excluded in some of these uprisings. So let us be careful how we govern as a country. I sympathize with the young people who, as a result of trying to register their displeasure with the suffering in Kenya, lost their lives. Nobody should lose his life in fighting for his own, survival or emancipation from some incompetence or dictatorial rule. But in every struggle, you always have some martyrs. So we would accord them as people who are heroes who fought for their generation. This is not just the generation where people feel that this Gen Z generation is just about social media, but you realize that they also understand what it means to fight for their rights. They understand what it means to fight for their freedom. They understand what it means to fight for what is against their comfort and what they do not expect of a government. So this is a warning, not only to the Kenyan government, but to every government within this sub-Saharan Africa. They should watch out for this current Gen Z generations. We live with them, we know them, some of us, we are part of them, and we understand how they think. Nothing bothers us, nothing worries us. What we want to do, we do.
Right, thank you very much, Osman Ayariga. You two can be a part of this discussion. Let me know what you think. Send in your messages. I see that scores of you already sending messages to our WhatsApp. Keep them coming. Let's proceed to our next topic for conversation. And yesterday was the unveiling ceremony of the running mate to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the Energy Minister, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, that is. And it was an event that was attended by the rank and file of the New Patriotic Party. So everybody who matters as far as the top hierarchy of the NPP is concerned was present to witness the running mates unveiling in Menchia ostensibly, because that's his constituency, and also we hear he has a royal blood. He's of the royal family, so it was pretty axiomatic that they were going to have that unveiling ceremony there. I watched excerpts of it, but interestingly, the very portion I watched, when I heard the running mates make some comments with particular reference to this current administration's achievements and trying to put it side by side with other governments, with particular emphasis on the first ever Ghanaian government, Osagyefo's government, I knew that was going to be the takeaway from that unveiling ceremony. I was in the newsroom yesterday. We were all watching. So as soon as he said that, I'm like, yes, that is going to be the takeaway from the unveiling ceremony. It didn't take long. Social media was replete with that particular comment he made. You go to X, arrogance is trending on X. Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh is trending on X. And when you open it, all the comments are about what he said, with particular reference to Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. I think for many people too, it's not just about saying that this government has achieved more than Osagyefo's government. It was the manner in which it was said. People feel that he did it with some level of contempt. Mofa Kwame Nkrumah. So which means that he does not even identify with Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah as a Ghanaian. So Kwame Nkrumah, your Kwame Nkrumah. The video is there. Let's take a look at the video. We'll come back to the studio and do justice to that conversation.
Dr. Bawiabere, Obeba, Ebisi wa MPP Buddha. Ghana ha yachichi Ghana abakosoma. President Kufuor to call retirement. But to be sacked, we say a free say yachichi Ghana from 1957. Ebekane, yenya president bi awabua Ghana China na do Dr. Kufuor. Messi a free 1957. Bekane, mo form Kwame Nkrumah no, mo form Obia di wa abedi mampanya wa boga na ho ban e Ghana kola nim China na do dankwa Akufuado me ka de se ye di jawa ne di oso ye di jano no ofa soa ye ma no ya akono eti na ye gire ha ye mba de si 2008 na bi si biobo chama wutumi kan na me ka so de be ye fe de be ye ni monyam Sana na do bako adako of Kufuor over na 7 January. What saw no di no keto ba obi ansa. Nene de ne yeba. Ana ma da di che obi a. E bu say aduma we ba ba ye no. Dr. Obi Ababa Ishebuma na Ghana ye den akodanim. Me so ye babunu ye abrante na wo ha. O da chinti to ma Dr. Bawumia. Kwa Dr. Bawiabere Obeba Ebisi wa MPP Buddha. Ghana ha yachichi Ghana abakosoma. President Kufuor to call retirement. But to be sacked, we say a free say yachichi Ghana from 1957. Ebekane, yenya president bi awabua Ghana China na do Dr. Kufuor. Messi a free 1957. Bekane, mo form Kwame Nkrumah no, mo form Obia di wa abedi mampanya. Wa boga na ho ban e Ghana kola nim China na do dankwa Akufuado me ka de se ye di jawa ne di oso ye di jano no ofa soa ye ma no ya akono It's in Nigeria. Yamba de see 2008 the big Sibiobo. Chama would to be kind of make us so. The Abaya fair, the Abaya Nimonyam, Sanana Dubako, Adako, run over. Not 7 January. What's so on one in your trouble of your son? Many nearby. And not my dad to tell you. It was a Juma Papa, no. Dr. Obiaba is Shabuma, Nagana, and I called him. Mesoya Babu, we are Branche, now, Oda Tinti, to my Dr. Baumia. Dr. Baumia, or Beba, a bit see why people da. Ghana, Yachi, Ghana, Bakosama. President Kufu to call retirement. But to be Mr. who said, a free style Ghana from 1957. Ebekane, Yenya President Bia Wabua Ghana Chen and Ado Kufu. Messi a free style 1957. Bekane, Mofamo Kwame Krumano, Mofamo Obia Dua di Mampania, Wabua Ghana who buy, and the Ghana Kolanim, Chen and Ado Dankwa Akufuado. Me can say, you're the Jawa, near the Swamp. You're the Jano, of first why ye mania kono. It's in Nigeria. Yamba de see 2008 the big Sibiobo. Chama would to be kind of make us so. The Abaya fair, the Abaya Nimonyam, Sanana Dubako, Adako, run over. Not 7.
Anna, Chini and Tiasi. Right, so welcome back. Good morning, Africa, live from our studios here, number 48, Swanika Street, in Abilene Place. So that's our second topic for conversation. And you heard the video of the Energy Minister who is now running mate to the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party. Yep, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, his comments there that has stoked conversation. Social media is replete with commentaries on exactly what he said yesterday at Menshi. I'm starting the conversation with you, Mr. Owusu. Your general thoughts on happenings yesterday.
Bless, you see, when I heard that the NPP was settling on Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, my prayer each morning was that it will be actualized. Because you see, we are all fighting to get votes. And you go to the market with your best product, marketing strategy to be able to woo more customers. So my only prayer was that, let the flag bearer of the party send his name to the National Council for confirmation or endorsement. Lo and behold, last week, it was sent, he was endorsed, and I hear it was unanimous decision. And I became the happiest person. You see, whatever baggage or utterances he uttered yesterday is something that has been endorsed by the entire National Council. Because they are known the character of Napo. And they said he was okay for the people of this country. So who am I as a movement for change member to say the NPP was wrong? But you see, before Napo got to the Jubilee Park to make these statements you are playing, he had been to Manshia to seek the blessing of the king of Ashanti, Otumfuo. Now, if you know Kumasi very well, between Manshia to the Jubilee Park, it's less than 10 minutes drive. In fact, if you decide to walk, it will not take you 20 minutes. Now, between the time he was advised and the time he made those statements, it was less than 2 hours. Meaning the advice given by Otumfuo that people are saying you are arrogant was so fresh in his mind. That the advice that was given by Otumfuo that do not go and do anything that will make the flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, regret in choosing you as his running mate, was so fresh in his mind. And he should have known that people were not interested in the gathering. They were interested in what he was going, the goof that was going to come from him. He is so predictable. Napo never disappoints. Like they say, Niger never carry lies. They carry lies, eh? He never disappoints. First of all, the people that were gathered were not enthusiastic about what was happening. If you watch the videos carefully, in as much as he tried shouting, the people were not with him because they are feeling the heat of the economy in their pocket. And it's no wonder that the city reacted so negatively after he made those comments. I mean, if you realize, 2 days ago, the city was trading around 15.34 to the dollar. Immediately, Napo made those statements, he jumped to 15.78. The same thing happened when Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, on the 7th of February 2024, went to the UPSA and gave a hopeless speech. The city once again reacted negatively to it. You have an audience. You are speaking before the people of this country. The people of this country want to have a reassuring message from a prospective vice president of the land. What was he saying? That he took just 5 minutes to even destroy his own uncle. And if I were President Kufuor, I would be so worried. I would be extra. Forget about the Kwame Nkrumah's bit. We will come there because that way we can do. Yeah, they will do UP, CPP, and it will muddy the whole thing. Your own uncle, President Kufuor, is alive. You look straight into his face and say he did not help this country. That was the import of it. Because from 1957 to the time he made us, that's yesterday, his own uncle, President Kufuor, has been a president of the land. His deliveries, his performance was what brought President Kufuor to power. I dare say, can he be confident enough, together with the flag bearer, that they can ride at the back of President Kufuor's achievement to win power in this country? If indeed he has helped, mind you, he used the word helped Ghana more than help in what sense? Help in what sense? This is a flag bearer of the NPP who is doing the opposite or saying all the opposite of what this government is doing. Has he not promised withdrawing levy when he gets the opportunity? How many taxes has he not promised that he will withdraw? Clearly saying that the current president did not perform. He's a different person. He's a man of his own. Haven't you heard him say so? Because he believes that this president has not helped us. How will this president help us by digging a hole of $58 million? That is not being used for anything. So if you have gotten an opportunity and you want to win the sympathies of the people of this country who are already in severe hardship, let me tell you, the heat in the system is not small. People are really suffering in this country. And say something and let us even consider. This is your mantra, that President Kufuor will go down as the best president. And you see, but Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's bit, the way and manner he put it was so disrespectful. You understand Kwi? I understand Kwi. Osman understand Kwi. Saka understand Kwi. Kwame Nkrumah. So you don't even book him, you don't even acknowledge him. But I have not visited any Pan-African museum in this world that I've seen even the name of Nana Akufo-Addo. I've not seen it. Even the mentioning of it. You give respect where it is due. The United States of America, they revere Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln is considered as the father of the nation. Go to the Union Building, that's where you will see Osagyefo's portrait. That everyone goes to learn about him. So what is it that you would describe him in such a manner. It's so unfortunate. But you see, for those of us in the movement for change, we are so happy. Yesterday, they opened phone lines on one of the radio stations in Kumasi, Otek FM. And the response rate, if I were the NPP, I would begin to cry. A lot of them have said that they have already crossed carpet to the movement for change. But what Napo said rather cemented their position, that there's no future. And you see, this business of trying to do tribal politics with the people of Ashanti, I am so happy with it. If you are saying that you as a Napo, you are a son of the soil, and by extension must be voted for, is he not amply campaigning for Mr. Alan Kyerematen? Is Napo telling me he's more Ashanti than Alan Kyerematen? Mind you, the cultural center that you see in Kumasi is the handiwork of the father of Alan Kyerematen. So when we are talking about culture in Ashanti Kingdom, it comes from Alan's home. Unfortunately for Napo, his face is not going to be even on the ballot. So for those of you in the Ashanti region that you are being preached to, that Napo is one of your own, the good news is that there is also Alan. But unlike Napo, Alan's face will be on the ballot. And who told Napo, or anybody that thinks alike, that the people of Ashanti region wanted a mate but not a driver? Which research tells him that? And he made a certain statement I found it laughable. Look, elections are not a do and die or someone won, someone lost. You see, we want a leader to lead this country to prosperity. It's not about, oh, we won and that is it. No. Governance is a serious business. He was telling them that what would you gain when about 90% of the people have voted for NPP and you alone voted against the NPP? Would you be happy? Well, I mean, this is childish. Absolutely childish. If the person does not believe in your policy, why must the person vote for you? What have you done with the opportunity given to reassure the people that indeed, given the opportunity again, you improve or better their lives? Recently, when Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia went on Ashanti region tour and met the business community in Kumasi, what did the business community tell you? Obi Benin looked straight into his face and said, look, do not consider Ashanti region as your stronghold anymore, because we are businessmen here. You have destroyed our businesses, and that is our lifeblood. It's not about NPP, NDC. It's about survivor. I used to pay 20,000 for my electricity bills. Now I'm having to pay 200,000 cedis. You have collapsed the business. And so what are you here for? And when he said that all the businessmen gather, you know, it's not everybody that has the courage to confront issues. They clap and say, say it, Kanina. That was the word, these were the words of the people gathered. You are not thinking about this, because the people of Ashanti are predominantly traders and farmers. If you are not improving the macroeconomic environment, you are destroying their livelihood. How are they supposed to survive with an interest rate of 40%, 45%, 50% from the banks? You would have collapsed them. And so, with what has happened, you see, this morning everybody is talking about the utterances of Napo. But see, people are forgetting. I keep telling you that Ashanti region belongs to the movement for change. People thought I was just making noise. Yeah, let me greet Mr. John Bito of Oti region. He's an ardent viewer of your show. Listen, the NPP says they brought Napo to come and organize the Ashanti region. Are you listening to me? Ashanti region is supposed to be the stronghold of the NPP. Is that not the case? Why then do you need someone to still go back and organize them? Organize them to do what? You have already described them as your your stronghold. You don't need anything. Whatever you do, the people are with you. And that's how come Napo told us, some time past, that all that the region needed was T-shirts. And the region said, they have heard you. They brought him back because they realized that if you take every 10 citizens of Ashanti region, 7 of them says they are not voting for the NPP and that they are settling on the movement for change. This is a research that is available. So, hey, then we have to go back and then do damage control. That is all to it. At the time that Ghanaians were yearning for a change, massive change, the Ashanti region never gave the NPP 90%. How much more? This time around, the inflation is running at 23%, unemployment 14.74%. Your CD to the dollar is around 16, 1 is to 16. A liter of diesel is 14.955. Who is going to take you serious? Yeah, Kufuor we thought even did well. In 2004, he had only 77%. So what makes you think that you are so loved? I'm from the Ashanti region. I have my family there. No, there is none in my family that is going to vote for the NPP because of Napo. In any case, their own history should have told them that the Ashanti region will go for someone that is credible. Is Nana Akufo-Addo coming from the Ashanti region? Is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia from the Ashanti region? But the Ashanti region, in spite of these two not coming from that region, gave the NPP 1.7 million votes in 2020. Have you forgotten about that? Because they thought that Akufo-Addo, together with Dr. Bawumia, would turn around things. You have messed up the entire country. To the extent that for the first time in our history, our president decided to wear a jacket, blue one of course, very nice, paid by my tax, bought a flight all the way to Kiev, Ukraine, war-torn country, to go and ask someone who is being bombarded day in and day out that we needed grains in the peaceful country where we have a lot of lands. This is the situation we find ourselves. This morning when I was coming, I just met my guys at the embassy. They want to leave this country. And talk led me here. You say the president has helped. Nana Akufo-Addo has helped Ghanaians more than any president. And maybe he has helped him. And by virtue of President Akufo-Addo, that is why he is the running mate of the NPP. If he has helped you, fair deal. There are 33 million Ghanaians at least living. I'm not too sure he can say that for about 0.4% more. He has really goofed. He goofed yesterday, and for us, it's good. It's a good omen. Now it has made the work in Ashanti region more easier. Allah will go to the Ashanti region back. We will go and play Napo's voice to our people in the villages. They would even understand it very well. That's why we don't even need to be saying, we will just cut the voice. You know, the vans that they have been using to sell Madam Catherine, that we will just go and slot it in. All we need and all we are appealing to all the transporters who have expressed interest in the movement for change is to make your buses available. One will be in Mampong, one will be in Obuasi, one will be in Efijase. Early morning then they play. That vote for someone who is from the Ashanti region, who is on the ballot, says Napo, and who is from the Ashanti region, who is on the ballot, who has that credibility, competence, and honesty, is none than Alan Chamanti. And so it was a wasted money effort. And I'm sure Napo, going forward, will find it very difficult to appease the sensibilities of the people of this country, having attacked the integrity of millions of Ghanaians by attacking the credibility of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. It's an undeniable fact that he remains our hero. It is either you accept it or you forget about it. And on that note, I end my submission here.
Thank you very much. Solomon Owusu is a member of the movement for change. Right. I mean, from you, I'll go to my brother Osman Ayariga. No, wait. You would want to listen to the two of you combine and then come.
I thought you explained to us what happened and they goofed how they.
No, he wasn't there. He watched like me and you.
Oh,
he watched
okay.
he watched on TV.
He says maybe I have nothing to say, but how can I have something to say when Napo himself has goofed to the extent that everyone is even talking about Napo? I mean, bless. You see, I don't even know where to start this matter from, but I'm sure I'll start from somewhere. Yesterday's event, I mean, by all standards, it was okay. It was an okay event until Napo was given the microphone. Then it turned out to be a very disastrous program. You would quite remember that as soon as the name Napo emerged, everyone kept saying this guy is arrogant, he's disrespectful, he's incompetent, etc., etc. And as Solo said, just 2 hours before even his speech, he was advised by the Otumfuo. And my current worry also is not just about Napo's advice, but you see, is the rate at which that trait of arrogance transcends from Akufo-Addo to Bawumia and now to Napo. We all know Akufo-Addo to be an arrogant person. In the recent past, he was busy ordering chiefs to get up and greet him. That is the hallmark of arrogance and disrespect. Let's not forget, Bawumia, after he won the primaries, went to the Yana. What advice did the Yana give him? The Yana told him that go and run a decent campaign. John Mahama is your elder brother. Go and run a decent campaign, void of insults. That was an advice from a chief. Also tell him to be respectful and not arrogant, also disrespectful. Then the same arrogant and disrespectful Bawumia picks an arrogant and disrespectful Napo. He also goes to his chief. And the first advice the chief gives him is that I didn't teach you to be arrogant. So please, the people say you are arrogant, so don't be arrogant. Within the span of a year, two very prominent chiefs, one has advised the flag bearer of the NPP not to be disrespectful and arrogant, and he hasn't stopped. He's dancing about and insulting everybody. Otumfuo Osei also advised the running mate of the same political party not to be disrespectful and arrogant. And in less than 2 hours, he exhibited it full glare of the public. So you see that when I hear people say Napo is arrogant, I have a problem with it. Because he's not the only arrogant person. Akufo-Addo is arrogant. Bawumia is arrogant. Napo is arrogant. It's a party of arrogant people who disrespect every Ghanaian in this country, who feel they are above and over every Ghanaian in this country, who look down on every Ghanaian in this country because they feel that they can lord over everybody and they are more human than the rest of us. So as for the arrogant traits, it's not even something we need to spend so much time on. They are all arrogant. From Akufo-Addo, Bawumia, now Napo. In the history of the NPP, the only pair that exhibited a semblance of humility was the Kufuor-Aliu Mahama pair. Take that pair out, the rest, absolute arrogance, absolute disrespect. I don't want to use the word rubbish, but absolute disrespect. I don't want to use that word this morning. It's a Wednesday morning. After all the PR, in fact, let me commend Otumfuo for all the PR he did, trying to wash Napo, for Napo to take off on a very good stead, because he did so much PR that I raised you, I taught you well, and you're like a son to me. I paid your school fees, and I know you not to be arrogant, but people say you are arrogant. So work on it. one would expect that if you are wise in your head, you apply wisdom in what the chief has just told you. At least for the next 24 hours, pretend to be humble. Napo cannot even pretend to be humble. That is how arrogant he is. He cannot even pretend for 24 hours to be humble. That is how he is. How can such a person have the sanctity of mind to govern as a vice president? Because even as a politician, vice president, you meet all manner of people. And you need to address them with some wisdom and humility. So what? If you go out there and maybe a foreign mission comes and you are not in your good form, you just disrespect them. That is the level of arrogance we are talking about. Now, let me even come to what Napo said. I've said it time without number that Napo makes more sense when he's quiet. Napo, when you see him and he's quiet, he looks like he's smart, he looks like he's intelligent, until he starts speaking. They know that this is absolutely nothing to write home about. Napo makes more sense when he's quiet. Yes, he has the stature of a man, a fine gentleman, like a giant. So when he's standing and look at you, know that, oh, this is a gentleman, until he starts speaking. As soon as he starts speaking, you know that you've thrown your respect to the wrong person. It's just like rotten fish. No matter how you tie it, and no matter how you package it, no matter how you hide it, it will still smell. It's like pregnancy. No matter how you hide it, it will still show. People thought Napo was only arrogant. But he's not only arrogant, he's also empty. Because if you are not empty, you will not be making such remarks and those kind of speeches on such a very serious platform. That Ghanaians expected you to exude some hope. Ghanaians were expecting to listen to you. Mind you, are not talking to only NPP foot soldiers. You are talking to the entire Ghanaian populace. And people expected you to speak some wisdom. People expected to hear what you were bringing to the table. People expected to understand what you were thinking of doing as a country or as a running mate, or if in the most unfortunate, which will not happen, if you become vice president, what you will do. Rather, you came speaking from A to Z, and we didn't even understand what you were saying. And to make matters worse, I told you, Napo makes more sense when he's quiet. Makes matters worse, he decided to jump on Kwame Nkrumah. But for Kwame Nkrumah, Napo would have been a stark illiterate. Take it from me. But for the likes of Kwame Nkrumah, but for Dr. Osajifo Kwame Nkrumah, Napo would have been an illiterate. He wouldn't be that doctor today. He's standing and making the noise. But why? He went to KNUST Primary School. He went to KNUST University. So, but for Kwame Nkrumah, where would Napo have been? Tell me. But for Kwame Nkrumah, Napo would have been an illiterate in this country. Because more than half of your education, you were trained by the works of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. So how can you now come and tell us that you're Kwame Nkrumah? Somebody through his hard work, today you are a medical doctor, you can open your mouth and speak anyhow, but for your Kwame Nkrumah. Quote me anywhere, but for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Sarkis Napo would have been an illiterate. He wouldn't have even gone to class 1. So don't come and tell us what you are saying. You have done your politics. You have seen your party foot soldiers. Do your politics and go. Excite your base and go. Don't go jumping into issues and matters that are heavier and weightier than you. And at the end of the day, you mar the entire program. And there's nothing to write home about. But for the fact that you decided to insult Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. In less than 2 hours, you were just advised to be humble. You decided to insult Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and also insult J.A. Kufuor, your own party. Anyways, now, let's do a quick comparison between what happened in Kumasi yesterday and what the NDC even did at the UPSA auditorium. When you listen or you watch Professor Jane Nana or Poku Ajiman at the time, you would see that this is quality. This is a woman of substance. This was a speech that was speaking to the core, the heart of the Ghanaian people. This is a speech that reverberated with the Ghanaian people. This was a speech that was giving us hope. This was a speech that was giving us life. This is a woman who is ready to work and ready to accept responsibility as a vice president incoming. But what do we see with Napo? He was speaking to the entire Ghanaian populace as if he was talking only to the NPP foot soldiers who have refused to think and understand what is happening in this country. That is where we are as a country. You cannot in any way compare these two personalities. One is shining star, shining like diamond and gold, and one, of course, is behaving like rotten tomatoes, and that is Napo for you. So for us in the NDC, we are excited that Napo is your running mate. Napo, with just one statement, will send their entire campaign crashing. Mark my words, before 7 December. I'm not cursing. I'm not hoping, but it is a certainty. It will happen. Napo is a loose talker. He will surely lose stock. And every day they'll be explaining. With Napo as their running mate, them go explain, tire. I'm telling you as a matter of fact. Because every day he will lose stock. And every day they'll explain. By now, we should have been talking about how they are even going about their campaign. But they are coming to sit here to explain what he actually meant by the Dr. Kwame Nkrumah statement. So with Napo, Saka and Co, they will explain, tire. No evidence. So we are happy. We are extremely happy. He has made our work so easy for us. With Napo as vice president, unless they are saying that don't let Napo speak. And you cannot have a running mate who will not speak. How can you have a running mate who only makes sense when he's quiet? Whenever he speaks, bomb. Whenever he speaks, bomb. He told us to go and draw our timetable. Up to now, we are not done drawing that timetable. The only thing we will draw is the ballot paper and how we vote against NPP. That is the only thing Ghanaians are going to draw. They are not done drawing the Dumsor timetable. They are going to draw the ballot sheets and know how they are going to vote and vote against the NPP. So, bless. We are happy that they have picked Napo as their running mates. And we wish them well, even though we know it will not end well. Because they have a dancer as a flag bearer, and they have a hype man as the running mate, and they have a rapper as the outgoing president. So we just organize one beautiful concert and wish them well to live.
Right. Thank you very much, Osman Ayariga, Deputy National Youth Organizer of the National Democratic Congress. I received a number of messages. It's only right that I allow the viewers also share their thoughts on the topic that we are currently discussing. Good morning, please. Let my party NPP know most of us are voting for NDC. So after their loss, we come back to reform the party we knew and want, and not that of Nana Ado's clique. But as for the disrespectful comment about our founding father, the just God of Nkrumah will disgrace them in the results of the election 2024. Ion from Tamale sent this one. Thank you for your message. This one here says, if former President Mahama had also rigged elections, bought votes, or shot and killed people during elections, he would have been in power for more than 2 terms. Asanko from Santa Maria sent this one. Papa Ayite from Ware constituency says, Napo has disappointed Ghanaians. Instead of telling Ghanaians how he's going to support Baumia to bring Ghana back on its feet, he rather came to campaign and sang praises of Nana Addo. He doesn't know the difference between acceptance speech and campaign message. Papa Ayite from Anglon constituency. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Good morning. I don't know why some portion of Ghanaians still follow this government. Commander Osman Ayariga Esquire is doing the Lord's work together with other communicators who speak the truth. Yet, we have youth supporting this waste of a government to the extent that the arrogant Napo, sorry to say, disrespects Dr. Kwame Nkrumah in this manner. Frank from UPSA sent this one. Thank you, Frank, for your message. I'm Future from Zebula. My greetings to Osman. Please, we need the right thing to be done during the 2024 election or else. Right. Thank you for your message. Good morning, my brother. Bless. I beg, where is Elvis Botta? We are feeling his absence. Do your best to bring him on. Thank you for your understanding. Elvis Botta has been engaged in some serious work, so for the interim, he's unable to appear on the show. Good morning, Pan-African TV. I am of the view from day one when his name came up that the choice of Napo as a running mate of Dr. Bawumia is a negative contribution to the presidential ambition of the driver's mate. This is because this man has only gained notoriety for unbridled arrogance of power and royalty. A man who failed as education minister, brought about green yellow streams and destroyed school academic timetable. The man who went to energy ministry and brought back Dumso with a new name Dumsisi and snapped journalists who asked for timetable for Ghanaians. His usual arrogance of power and royalty over self-inflated ego and emotional immaturity reared their heads during his inauguration. Nana Jimandia from Kumasi sent this one. Thank you, Nana, for sharing your thoughts with us. Good morning, Bless. It's sad that Napo should go the way he did. As we are all praying against insult from our body polity, we didn't expect him to go on the attack on the late first president of Adia Land. It is the behavior of the UP tradition to run down every Ghanaian. It's time we dealt with them on 7th December 2024. This speech is total disrespect to the people of Ghana. Thanks, Stephen. I'll do two more, then I'll come to Saka. I'll do Mohammadin says, good morning, Bless, and your panelists. Napo did not even insult Dr. Nkrumah Nkufuor. He also insulted the one who just advised him. Musa Abatwa says, indeed, Otumfuor's statement that Matthew Opoku Prempeh isn't trained to be arrogant was undoubtedly true, but unfortunately, his arrogant nature is inborn. He consequently displayed this arrogant nature during his outdooring ceremony. The 2024 election truly centers on the future of Ghanaians, focusing on who can provide sustainable jobs for the many unemployed youth. It's worth noting that former President Mahama has already proposed a 24-hour economic policy which aims to address these pressing employments. Right. Thank you so much. Good morning to Mamia Jewa and Etilate Nyaba, Komensa Pila 2, Baba Awinkagwa Salifu, and all of you doing the watching. Also to Cardi B doing the watching from SEC on the Malam Kaswa stretch. A hearty good morning to you. I trust you are doing fine. On that note, I come to Saka Salia, who represents the New Patriotic Party. He's a member of their communication team. He's listened to Solomon Owusu. He's listened to Osman Ayariga. And while doing that, I saw him scribbling down a few things. So whatever he has written down, he's going to share with Ghanaians. Saka.
Yeah, thank you very much. And good morning to our viewers. Especially our two perfect pair. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia and Matthew Opoku Prempeh, alias Napo. I can understand the reason why there's shivers all over the NDC and their cause. But in the meantime, let me see that you saw that I was very quiet. I didn't even say anything. First in history. So I expect same to be replicated.
The only person who can talk.
Yeah.
So I can understand. You remember even long before Bawumia became the flag bearer of the NPP, he was the target. They had planned because they knew these people can prophesize based on your deeds that you will become somebody. So let's start destroying you. They start giving Bawumia all manner of names. They start giving him names like dogs so that they can hang him. They start making all manner of noise about him. And it was just a matter of time that Napo became the vice. Because indeed, he was the overwhelming favorite of every NPP person and unbiased observers. So it came as no surprise to some of us and keen observers that they have started the unwarranted attacks on him. And indeed, let me also greet the Ashanti and the kingdom of the Ashanti and those who come to, receive Matuopoko Perempe yesterday. I think if you are in Kumasi or you watch it on television, you'll be proud of Napo and in the NPP, except the detractors. After the detractors, they don't see anything good in anybody within the NPP. When they are with the NPP, they'll praise everybody. And when they are out, they'll condemn everybody. So I'm saying, if you listen yesterday, any keen observer, objective-minded person would have come to that irresistible conclusion that indeed Ghana needs somebody, and then the pair of Bawumia and Napo. I will explain all these things. Why am I saying some of these things? We are in a situation where everybody knows that due mainly to what happened globally, every country is reeling under the devastating effect of COVID-19. If you go to the UK, US, everywhere, economies are jumping here and there. Every country is looking inward and all that. Indeed, when John Mahama went to Harvard to give a speech, he himself came to that conclusion that COVID-19 has devastated the world and that it will take years, a very long time, for African countries to recover from the devastating effect. The same person, because of dishonesty and hypocrisy, when he landed at Kotoka International Airport, he changed the narrative. He said, oh, Ronaldo mismanaged the economy. And then his ilks joined him in that chorus. And some of the apologists also joined in making that noise. Nobody is saying things are not hard. But we are saying it's global. It is not the fault of the president nor the government. And therefore people should understand. In these situations, for you to paddle your way out of the doldrum between John Dramani Mahama, who has been a vice president, a deputy minister, a vice president, a caretaker president, and president, who have been tested and failed. Indeed, John Dramani Mahama was booted out of power by Ghanaians with anger. By the time he handed over power to Ghana, to the NPP government, we were already in IMF, where we had no global situations. And he was referring to some things that happened in the Middle East, in China, and all those things. And such a person would turn around today and say, oh, massacre, I'm coming to Napo, but I want to, I'm setting something. Such a person would turn around. Look here. He himself has told us that when it comes to election, people have made it their stock in trade to combine or to mix a mismatch of lies and truths and half-truths in order that they can get favor with the electorate. That's what John Mahama have told us. And in that process, what did he say? He went and met with journalists and said that he brought free SHs. What a dishonest individual he is. Free SHs, who brought free SHs in this country? In 2015, he went to the Parliament House instead of the nation's address, because he knew that in 2008, 2012, 2016, the NPP and you know, the run-up to 2016 election, the NPP campaigned on free SHS, and therefore it made him, even though he won 2012 election, look at where it went. It has to be determined by the court, and 4-5, you know, verdict. So it took one judge, you know, a decision to give the NDC victory. And in 2008, the NPP led the first round and needed just 3,000 votes to cross. But things changed in the second round. Oh, please, let me continue. The why is not the reason why I'm sitting here. So things changed in the second round, and then because of that, they realized that no, this free SHS, ever since they started using it, it has been a thorn in their flesh, and therefore, what can we do to water down the effect of the free SHS? Then he went to the State of the Nation's address and said that, oh, in September, I will introduce what we call progressive free SHS. That progressive free SHS is so nebulous. Oh, please, stop that sarcastic laughter. It doesn't make sense for you to be laughing guffaw like that. When you were talking here, I kept quiet. You see, when they pinch them, they will laugh. They will come and laugh unnecessarily. Yeah, when they pinch them, they will, oh, please, let me talk. Tell him. If not, you know, I can heckle more than anybody here.
Oh, but you are inviting.
Well, how did I invite him? Did I speak to him?
Saka, proceed.
Did I speak to him?
Saka, proceed.
So I'm saying that, oh, please, listeners who are more wiser and brilliant than you are listening to me. So let them judge what I'm saying, whether it makes sense or not. You understand me? So let me talk. Charlie, this is the reason why when you call, you see, some of these things. If you want intellectual argument, let's do it. When I sat here, because I wanted to listen to them, and indeed, I listened to them. So if I'm making the point, let me talk. If not, I can heckle more than anybody here, even including you, the host. You know it. So I'm saying that in order to water down the effects on the 2016 election, he came to the State of the Nation's address and said that he was going to introduce what he termed as progressive free SHS. And do you know what the progressive free SHS is? It is bursary. It is just give you scholarship to day students. For instance, if GetFan or let's say Cocoa Board decide that, oh, I will sponsor like 20 people in some secondary schools or day students be. That doesn't mean Cocoa Board has brought free SHS. Cocoa Board has given scholarship to students. The NDC, even with that progressive thing, that they said they were going to give these students some scholarship, they did not even pay 1 cedi. 1 cedi, they didn't even pay it all. It has to take Napo, the one they are here insulting and calling arrogant, when they themselves are exhibiting signs of arrogance. Arrogancy that has been exhibited here is unmatched. It is that Napo, that Machuopoko Perempe, who came and paid those men about 30 million Ghana cedis. They didn't pay even 1 cedi. Today, shamefully, John Dramani Mahama and his so-called deputy, that woman, that old lady, are sitting there and standing there and saying that they brought free SHS. What free SHS did they bring? And you hear somebody too, like a Rollins daughter, saying that his father brought NHIS. When did Rollins bring that? In 2003, when NHIS bill went to Parliament, NDC boycotted Parliament because they didn't want it. They boycotted Parliament, that they will not vote for that. And today, once again, you see, but before 2003, the Catholic Church in somewhere in Kranza, and somewhere around Ningo had piloted that in the district to see how it can work. A Catholic church. Then because of the pilot by a Catholic church in some 2 districts, the NDC woman, MP for Kolikote, says that the father brought it. And these people are not calling these people arrogance. They are calling Napo arrogant. Look at John Mahama. He epitomizes arrogancy. When we talk of somebody who is arrogant, you cannot bypass John Dramani Mahama. How do you measure arrogance? You measure arrogance from the deed and the speech, what comes out of the person's mouth. Look at John Mahama. Let me tell you, in 2009, when when we were talking about the oil receipts, when we were doing the laws of the oil, how if we start, exploiting the oil, what we can use the receipt for and all those things. And some MPs were suggesting that, and from the majority side, that is the NDC side, that, we can use the oil receipt to go and borrow money. The NPP minority was saying that, no, we cannot use the oil receipt to do that. And that we have to bring some of these funds like the Heritage Fund and all those things. Those things were proposed by the NPP government. John Mahama went on an interview and said what they are saying is stupid, it's baloney. Now, why would we have oil and then we cannot use the oil money to go and borrow? And he used that word. He has used words like stupid and silly on Martin Amidu. When Martin Amidu brought a report and says that, the Airbus matter, no, he want to shelve that one after the 2020 election. This man that you people think that you people are telling us that he's humble was all over insulting the office of the special prosecutor. We've seen when Kufuor was saying that when Kenyan Japan said some people should attack others, and then he was called to the court, and then he was charged with treason and all manner.
Some people mentioned the people.
All manner. He was charged with treason and all manner of charges. Kufuor said that it was overkill. He said no. We can even use hammer, a bulldozer. We should have even used bulldozer to kill the ants. You see, because Kufuor said that it was like using sledgehammer
to kill a mosquito,
to kill an ant. He said no, you bulldozer. And you see, and you don't call that one that derogatory remarks or response to Kufuor. You don't call that one arrogancy. You are calling somebody who says that, I have better records. I've been the NPP over the years. And indeed, it is true. Unless maybe we don't want to open our ears, we don't want to open our eyes. In the history of this country, which government has ever started 111 hospital projects? Which government? It's not as if he is dreaming. He started it. But for COVID, a lot of them would have finished. But as I'm speaking to you, a lot of them are in the various stages.
When did he start it? It was started after COVID. It's not as if...
No, but I am saying... No. What kind of
I'm engaging you. I'm engaging you. I said, but for COVID.
Yes.
The 111
but listen,
was started because
no. Listen to me.
Yes, I'm listening.
This guy is, you see, I'm listening. This program will not end well. Yeah, because everybody can laugh so nasty like the way you are laughing. Everybody can do so. Everybody can do nasty laughter. Well, I'm saying that, yes. But for the devastating effects, of COVID, we would have finished. You see, when we talk of COVID, even during COVID itself, because at the time that COVID was on, we were not feeling even the effect. It is after COVID that we are feeling the effect. That's the reason why when people say that, oh, the COVID levy should be removed, and I told them, countries are suffering not because maybe we are in COVID, but the aftermath of COVID is when the economic problems came. So you see, when we say that, but for COVID, it doesn't mean that it should happen during the time of COVID. During the time of COVID, we're having, you know, reserves and other things that we can lay on and will not even feel it. But 2 years, 3 years after COVID, that's when you feel the devastating effect of this thing. So when somebody mentioned it, then people who cannot think outside the box think that is a fallacy.
How many of the hospitals have been completed so far?
I mean, there are various stages of completion.
So none has been completed?
None has been completed yet. I'm telling you, if you look at, you see, nobody is underplaying the importance of Kwame Nkrumah. That is even the reason why Napo himself mentioned that not even, it means that he recognized the fact that Kwame Nkrumah is in a different pedestal. But he's saying that not even, that shows the respect that he gives to Kwame Nkrumah. He could have mentioned the other mundane president that came after him, the others who come to do ordinary things like John Dramani Mahama and Co., who plunged this nation into doomsday for 4 good years. Bless, you sitting here, I'm telling you before God and man, given the opportunity as president, will you sit down and allow this nation to be plugged into doomsday for 4 good years?
2 minutes.
Empire! And Empire! This should not happen. And today, these are the people who are making noise, creating the impression that there are different breeds who have come to salvage this nation. I'm going to reset Ghana. So, so nebulous policies, 24-hour economy. He himself, after his people have failed to explain, he himself came and failed to explain what a 24-hour economy is. Because you cannot come and say, it will lead to this. What will lead to this? What are you going to do? That will lead to development. That will use, it doesn't make sense. And I'm saying that they have a reason why they are tagging Napo as arrogant. And they have a reason for tagging our presidential candidate with a liar. When indeed today, if you Google right now, the most corrupt president that ever walked in the surface of Ghana, you will see John Dramani Mahama name. And I'm telling you, no matter how you get, how revenue that no matter how much revenue you are able to accrue, if all the revenue dissipates into corruption, you are not going to get the desired revenue that you need. And therefore, somebody who is as corrupt as John Dramani Mahama, who take Ford Expedition, who lie to everybody when it comes to even his own president, Professor Mills, had to set a committee, 3-man committee led by the Interior Minister then, to investigate him on the embryo matter. And this is a person that turned around. And the last one before you stop. The last one is that. Let me finish. The last one is that there are 2 people. Let me finish. The last one. I would have finished by now. Let me finish. Let me finish. So I'm saying that the last one. The last one has to do with the fact that this is somebody who is just desperate for votes. One, he go around. Look at Okada. He was the one that outlawed Okada. Under him in 2012, they outlawed that Okada should, people who drive Okada, that policy came under him in Parliament. Today, because he needed vote and he saw the exponential increase in Okada people, he now says that he needs their vote and therefore he will legalize it. Another one has to do with the licensure exams. This is a person that actually superintended over the whole policy. Now a date was set for the policy to start. You were booted out of power. You realize that, Charlie, there's some votes to fetch from here. Let me go there and then take it. He said, when I come, I'll cancel the licensure exam. Almost invariably, this guy cannot think outside the box, and therefore they just choose and pick based on the fact that wherever they will get vote, then they will just poke their nose in there in order to get those votes. Lastly,
thank you.
This is a person. You see, Our democracy is hinged on the rule of law.
Thank you very much,
And the rule of law.
But Saka, seriously, you're speaking for 22 minutes.
He's speaking for 22 minutes.
I'm telling you, when we are done with the show, you can check. I'm telling you, you're speaking for 22 minutes. Thank you so much. I'll do a couple of messages and I'll take your final words. From Fusaini from Asamankesi says, good morning, Bless, and your panelists. Bless, please tell Saka to stop disgracing himself because he was only making contradictory statements. Good morning. Thank you for your message. Good morning, PATV. Please ask Saka if the National Cathedral is not complete also because of COVID-19. Thank you so much for your message. You didn't tell me your name and where you texted from. This one here says that Saka is just a fabricator. Okay, thank you very much. So Saka has the nerves to sit on national television and be distorting facts. These the future lawyers. Ghana has a problem. Don't bring. Okay, thank you so much for your message. Tell me next time when you send messages, please tell me your name and where you're texting from. Good morning, Pan African TV. Please, the NHIS was piloted at St. Theresa Hospital in Kraza and St. Anne Catholic Hospital in Damongo in the West Gonja district in the Savannah region. From Baba Atinga in Tamale. Thank you so much for your message. Okay, Saka, why are you interrupting me, please? Hi, please tell the NPP man to stop worsening their case. I don't think he is a Christian or Muslim because he will not be telling these lies. Fatima from Nswatre. Thank you, Fatima, for your message. Hello, Bless. I would like to advise the NPP communicator to concentrate on the discussion instead of trying to stop others from laughing. Papa Iti, send this one. Thank you for your message. I'll do this final too. No, I'm coming. This one says, I don't blame Napo. I remembered Otum for the Ashanti. Oh, the message isn't so clear. I'm sorry, I can't read it. Good morning, host. I like the way you have handled the guests on your show. Please, the NPP man there shouldn't provoke us. We Ghanaians are thinking about how we can come out from this hell. And he's there showing arrogance to us. There's a saying that if you pretend to die, I'll pretend to bury you. We are waiting for them on December 7th this year to end that hell. From Mr. Signama, the Little King, Kufuridia Old Estate. All right, thank you. Thank you. 2 minutes each.
Please. 1 minute out of my 2 minutes. Please Google. Use your.
I've done that. I know what you want to tell me.
The most corrupt president.
I know. I did it. Proceed.
No, sorry, no. Please, I want the audience to. I want the viewers to see.
They also Google at home. Proceed.
Google the most corrupt president. So the first name you see is Akufo-Addo. Look at it there. Please, if your cameras can zoom in, you are serious. The lies. You see, the lies coming from the NPP and Saka's desperation. You realize that Saka spoke for 25 minutes and he ended up saying nothing. He went round, contradict himself here, tries to explain himself, comes out of it in a very bizarre, unintelligent manner.
Very good.
Trying to, skew certain things, trying to defend the indefensible. You tried to defend Napo, it won't wash. You decided to go roaming around free SHS and you came back to say that we actually launched what we call progressively free SHS.
But everybody knows that.
But that was what we said. That was what John Mahama said. That we launched progressively free SHS.
And that is
because
not
at the time, we didn't think that everybody should be on board. And the simple thing you should learn as a government, and sometimes it's commonsensical. You do not go starting the construction of 111 hospitals when you don't even have the resources to complete 10 of them. Even the one hospital you went to you started at Shama. One, you said you're going to complete it in 17 months. It's past 3 years. You have not completed it. The hospital, is it La General Hospital, the very popular one? La General Hospital. Yeah. You want to break it down. You haven't completed it. But because you want to steal,
because of corruption, because your architect David Ajayi will make so many millions and you go back and take it in kickback, because you sit at the Flagstaff House and share the Agenda 111 contracts like granules. You decided to embark on the Agenda 111, sharing the hospitals to your own cronies and your own friends. Till today, not a single one has been completed. And I can tell you, without a shade of doubt, that we will finish this year, they will lose the election, and not a single of that 111 hospitals will be completed. And we will now have to go and look for money elsewhere and construct those hospitals. And we will surely continue that construction. That is why when we started the 200-day SHS schools, we didn't start all 200 at a go. We started them in batches. I think we started first 25 and another 25, and we kept constructing them in batches. That is what a government that has common sense, knowledge, intelligence, and foresight does. You don't just go saying that I want to construct 111 hospitals, but you don't have the resources. But because you are in a hurry to take the kickback, because you are in a hurry to pay your architects, so you can go back and take the kickback. This is corruption.
Right.
We don't even want to talk about the biggest hole.
Yeah.
Because Saka himself will give him a shovel to go and fill that hole. He and his NPP apparatchiks who are here defending the indefensible.
Thank you, Osman. Thank you, Osman. Mr. Owusu.
Well, I'm very disappointed with the delivery from Saka. You see, you were given a topic to defend your own running mate, and cleverly he had to run away from it. But it's because it's not palatable. It's not palatable. I mean, when you are presented with a very bad candidate, it makes the work of communicators very difficult. Going forward, I understand the party is meeting to ask NAPO not to be speaking by heart. I understand they have appointed Fifi Boafo to be doing a lot of the talking. I wonder what he's even going to do, considering his work at the Cocoa Board. It's going to be the same thing. But you see, he should not be going around making the point that because of COVID, that is why we are where we are. Governments are not put in place to be solving soft problems. The reason why there are always governments in place is to solve difficult problems. Other than that, then why would we need anyone to lead us? And even on that score, COVID alone brought to this country, as of 2022, 21,844,189.24 cities, according to the Auditor General. So what is he talking about? What did we use this money to do? We gave this money to Felicia Tete and her calls, 100,000 to executives across the length and breadth of this country, to the extent that an MPP recently said COVID rather made a lot of MPP sympathizers millionaires and billionaires. My brother didn't get some. So sometimes when he's talking about it and being pushed a certain agenda, he must tell them, look, you benefited from COVID, we did not. But to come here and push all the problems we are facing today, how is it that we go and spend $58 million in digging a hole, and you come and tell me sitting here that the very president who undertook that bogus venture is better than any of the presidents? How on earth? And we are eulogizing this? We must be thanking God that we have less than 6 months into an election. I can assure you that Kenya would have arrived in Ghana immediately. Because I have never seen such an incompetent administration like this one. And in their incompetence, so arrogant. Napo used only yesterday to disgrace Otumfo. Because for Otumfo to have admitted that he actually brought him up, and that for him he's so arrogant, and immediately after that, go and exhibit such arrogance, it's a disgrace. And we must not entertain that. I believe that Ghanaians must watch the characters that are going into election 2024 and look at what each and every one will be able to do to better the loss of the people of this country. If in the arrogance nature of Napo, he was going to even deliver his economic emancipation, I wouldn't have a problem after all. I know how it. But his works at the education ministry and that of the energy ministry does not give me any confidence. Going up, we were doing an open area. Did you ever attend some before? Shift system.
Fortunately, I didn't.
You understand?
Yeah, I didn't.
It took Napo to return us back to the shift system. And did I hear him that he overglossing on this what you call it, scholarship free SHS. Free SHS has been with us. And Nkrumah, was he not providing free SHS to the people of the northern part of this country? In any case, it is a constitutional provision What does Article 38(2) say about our education, directive principle of state policy? We are supposed to be given. If I'm a taxpayer, I pay my money, and you are giving me, using my money to do what is expected of you. Why must I go to church and say hallelujah, hallelujah? They should give us a break. Ghanaians must not cross 13% mark. They should humble the new patriotic party come December 7th and give this country to Alan Chamati to manage it better so that Saka is
Final words. Final words.
Final comment. Final words.
Yes.
Final words.
5 minutes.
Final words.
Let's talk about the general hospital.
Yes.
You see, sometimes they come here and throw dust in people's eyes. The general hospital. I mean, we all know the NDC. It was under the NDC that a report came that there are two options: whether we break it down or we renovate it.
Yes.
And the last option was taken that we break it down. But you see, but as we are speaking, the general hospital has been made part of the Agenda 111. So you come and sit here and take. Secondly, you also talk about COVID has made us rich and those things. Look, COVID has not made anybody rich. What happened is that even under our with the COVID money that came from the World Bank,
you didn't get so.
Listen, the COVID money that came, it did not come to even compensate for the revenue shortfall. For the revenue shortfall. No, listen. For the revenue shortfall. It was so small to even compensate for what we would have gotten if COVID
so
had not come.
You should have gotten 100,000.
The last. You see, I'm talking about the last thing that I will put is the last thing that I will say is if you put John Mahama here and his running mate, those old bunch, and you put Napo,
you put
and you put Bawumia and Napo. This is that the future and then the past, and ask you, and especially when the whole world is thinking about how to improve their economies. One here, one under the future, bunch is somebody who has knowledge in the economy.
Inflation to 54%.
The two old guys here,
now what to 50%.
As clueless
Turn on their mics. Right. Thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much, Saka Salia. Thank you, Osman Ayariga. Thank you.
I never knew such a 1-year-old man is a young man, a beautiful man.
Right. Thank you. And to our cherish, respectfully. Hey, but why? Saka, why? Why would you make such a comment? Right, thank you. Our time is up. Good morning to everybody that watched. Thank you so much for your time. To our cherished viewers on Facebook and on YouTube, thank you so much. I'll catch you same time tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Truly African.